Paul, if you can hear me okay already. Good, thank you. Well, welcome everyone. My name is John. This is Soft Flow. This is an hour-long class. And again, for our prompts, I'm actually sitting on my blanket. Again, if you're just tuning in, you'll need a blanket, just something soft to either sit on. We're also on our hands and knees for a little bit, so just a little padding is always nice to have. A yoga strap if you have one, or something that resembles a strap. It can be like a bathrobe belt, a regular belt, a jump rope, anything like that. A couple of yoga blocks, and maybe a bolster. Alrighty. And so we like to begin our practice just with a little breath work, just to tune in. So whenever you are set, just go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Feel free to cross your legs if that feels comfortable for you. If this isn't comfortable, sit in a way that's more comfortable for you. Maybe extending your legs. If you're near a wall, you want to sit up against a wall, please do so. Just want to be comfortable as we start our practice together. Feel free to close your eyes or just soften your eyes. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths in and out just to tune into your breathing, just the awareness that you are breathing. And we'll settle into stillness for a few moments. And just continue with slow, steady breaths. Just making this mindful connection. This is also a nice opportunity to make any personal intention for your practice today. If there's something that you're needing or desiring or wanting, just bring that or call that to your mind, call it to your heart. Maybe periodically through your practice, just bring that back into your mind and heart, just knowing that you're working towards that intention. Maybe our practice today will help serve as a way to open your body, open your mind and spirit in any way, so that those things that you're needing in your life at this moment can just flow inside. And the intention I'd like to offer, if you don't have a personal intention for your practice today, physically, we're going to be working on hamstrings, just helping to release and open that part of our bodies. And I was just thinking about just sometimes how we very much hold a lot of tension in our upper bodies, our neck, our shoulders, our upper backs, even our lower backs. Just want to pay attention to the legs a little bit here too. The lower glutes and the hamstrings, they also can get a little tight, and we hold a lot of tension there, a lot of energy that's stored in those spaces as well. And if you've been sitting a lot, that might be a good practice just to get the legs in motion and getting a good stretch. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths as you're sitting there in stillness. And we'll add a very simple movement. I just call it a moving meditation. Whenever you're ready, you're going to inhale and extend your arms out, reaching upward into the air. A nice stretch, reaching for the ceiling. And as you exhale, extend your arms out with good effort, reaching across your room and space, and bring the arms back down by your side, completing the breath. And do that again. Inhale, extend your arms out with good energy, out through your arms, hands, and fingers, reaching into the air. And your exhale, extending your arms out, and just let them float back down. Now just continue at your own breath pace, your own movement and style. And you want to feel like your breath is actually moving you. Your breath is moving you. The inhale allows the arms to lift and reach upward. And the exhale, this nice, slow, floating sensation as the arms come back down by your side. There's still effort in the extended arms, so you might feel energy in your shoulders, your arms, your hands and fingers. Paying attention to any sensations that you're having in your limbs. Also notice when you reach into the air, the lengthening through the sides of your body. Also aware of any limitations. If there's limitations in your shoulders or your back, just be aware of that. If you need to bend your elbows or not lift your arms up all the way, that's all fine. Again, it's just movement with breath. Very simply. Go ahead and finish the breath that you're on right now and take 2 more breaths. When you're complete, just bring your arms down by your side. They can just rest easily in your lap. Feel that energy change as your arms go from that energetic flow to this nice relaxed sensation. Just go ahead and bring the hands behind us. Just want to lean back gently into your hands just a little bit. And as you're able, roll your shoulders back, just so you can feel a nice opening up through the chest. Let me turn sideways here so you can see this. So you're just kind of leaning back gently into your hands, rolling the shoulders back, even tip your chin up a little bit. Just some space in the neck and across the collarbones. Now you'll inhale and just press into the floor and just feel the energy in your arms, but really feel as you breathe in deeply, the breath filling up your lungs. Then exhale. We're going to add some more sensation. Again, as you inhale, press into the floor. Feel the chest rise and open and expand with breath. Now on the exhale, as you're able, squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you just to activate your upper back. Again, inhale, press into the ground, heart opening, lungs expanding. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades, but also adding another thing, draw your navel inward towards your spine, just a little, just so you can feel the lower belly engage. And just take 2 more breaths like this. And after your second breath, you'll just lower your chin, walk your hands towards yourself to rise back up. And again, just let your arms rest in your lap, and everything just relaxes here for a moment. I like to call that a minor back bend. So we'll do the opposite. We're going to do a forward fold. For the forward fold, if your legs are crossed, you're going to uncross them and just choose a new position for your legs and feet. As you're able, just bring the soles of your feet together. You can draw the heels in close if you can. But drawing the heels in close means a deeper knee bend. And if that's not comfortable for your knees, then send your feet forward. That should take some of that strain, if there is any, in the knees. Here's where blocks can come in handy, not absolutely necessary, but you can use blocks or just some other kind of object just on either side of you like this, so your legs can actually rest right there. So my legs now feel completely relaxed in this open position. And then just hold on to somewhere along your legs. It could be your shins, your ankles, or your toes. And just take a moment. You'll inhale and just sit up nice and tall. Exhale, engage your center, belly draws in, and start to hinge forward just a little bit. Hinging from the hips, leading with your heart and chin, just a little bit. And again, just so you can see that movement, it's very minimal. Just coming forward a little bit. Another inhale to extend spine at this new angle. Exhale, draw belly in. Hinge forward just a tiny bit. You can just stay just like this. These aren't big movements at all. It's just generating some release and stretch without forcing the body. And you're certainly welcome to go a little further if you are needing or wanting a little bit more sensation. Again, an inhale to continue the lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, engaging your center for support, and hinge forward a little bit more. perfectly fine here too if the back begins to round. Your head might naturally drop. This is also a nice sensation. So not only are you getting a stretch in the inner thighs as you're folding forward, but as the back rounds a little bit, you get that nice flexion or stretch sensation in your back, which might be some nice release as well. And since we are folded forward a little bit, here's an opportunity to now pay attention to the back side of your body. So as you're able, breathe into your upper back as if you're breathing to the back side of your lungs. Just as when we do like heart openers, like that minor back bend, we breathe into the chest. So in this case, we're breathing into the back as you're able. And just take 3 more breaths. Just notice how you feel. Notice your body posture. If your back is rounded, we're going to come out of that now slowly. First, just lift your head and look forward. That will start the re-extension of your spine. Even placing your hands on your mat to help press, to help lift yourself up slowly until you're nice and tall in your seat. Just hold there for a moment. Just a breath or 2. All right, getting ready for our next posture. Just going to move to hands and knees. And so this is where you might want to use a blanket if you need some extra padding underneath you, especially if you happen to be on a hardwood floor. If you're on carpet, you may not necessarily need this. This is just nice, just to know that your knees are padded and your wrists are padded here, just like this. So whenever you're ready, just cat and cow. We start with cow. It's an inhale where you look forward or lift your head with a little arch in the back. It's a minor back bend. Then you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Again, there's that broadening of the back. Then continue, inhale, tip the pelvis back, let the belly drop, heart opens, look forward. Exhale, let's round it all out, tuck the chin in towards chest, feel the belly button pull up towards spine. Again, these don't have to be very big movements at all. You don't have to force that back bend. You certainly don't need to force the roundedness. Just the movement is good, and it's all very gentle and soft to the body. That way the body responds very positively. Sometimes we push a little too hard or way too hard in other cases, whether it's in yoga or in other parts of our lives, and our bodies react. Those stress responses start to kick in. This is a way to actually teach the body to calm down. All right, finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more breaths. After the second breath, just return to a neutral posture here on your hands and knees. Just find stillness and just take a breath or 2. If you have padding, you can keep it there or move it out of the way. I'm just going to move my blanket. Stay on your hands and knees or come back to your hands and knees. And we'll get ready for our next pose. Here you're going to step your hands forward a little bit, just so now your hands are no longer underneath your shoulders. And when you step forward, really spread out your fingers pretty wide so you get a stretch between your fingers. And then press your palms into the mat. Just press. That way your palms get a nice opening there too. And as you press into the ground, feel the strength and length in your arms. Hold that strength, hold that posture. You're going to tuck your toes. And with a good exhale, lift your knees off your mat and just send your hips up into the air. We're moving into downward facing dog. You might need to adjust the body a little bit. You might tiptoe forward a little. You might need to adjust your hands just for a second. We're coming right out of this pose. Take a look at the space between your hands and take a walk up to your hands. You might need to rise up to your fingertips so that you can get your feet underneath you. This is a very deep forward fold. We're going to come out of that right away. We're going to inhale and slide your hands up to your knees or your thighs and extend your spine. So only halfway lifting right about here. And exhale, fold again. Now you can fold all the way down, touching your toes or the ground, or you can be where I am. I'm not folded all the way. My hands are just resting on my shins. I have a good knee bend here, but I'm rounded in my back a little bit. And so we're just continuing that release through the back. You can even let your arms hang down if you want. Roll your shoulders, shake your head very gently. And even with the knee bend, you might feel a nice hamstring stretch. Since that is our focus today, this is a good opportunity to think about that sensation in the backs of your legs. Feel free to sway a little bit left and right to release your hips and low back. Now you're going to inhale and slide your hands back up to your knees or your thighs to re-extend your spine. We're going back down. Exhale, fold again. We're just getting a little bit of motion going along with the hamstring stretch. Let's get ready to stand. We're going to break this down. Shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees, let your hips drop. It'll feel like you're sitting down into a low chair. Look forward or look up a little bit to help extend your spine. Make sure the weight's in your heels. Extend your arms out to the side like you're spreading your wings. Press your feet firmly into the floor to straighten your legs, standing up. Now reach into the air with your arms reaching. That's it, big stretch there at the top. Exhale, bring your arms down by your side like this. Just down by your side. And we'll pause with the palms turned forward. So this is one way to do mountain pose. And we're just going to do a quick flow to go back down, forward fold, and come right back up. Moving with intention. Let's inhale, extend the arms back up into the air. Reach for the ceiling. Exhale, spread your wings. Bend your knees and sit back as if you're sitting back and down into a chair. Feel the belly come down towards your thighs. Your hands can drop. Let the head drop. Releasing completely. Then inhale, slide your hands back up to your knees or thighs, extending your spine. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Hold for a second right there. Feel that nice stretch. Again, lean back into your heels. Bend your knees like you're sitting down. Look forward. Weights in the heels. Extend your arms out to the side. Keep lifting them up into the air to help you stand up. Again, reaching into the air. Another nice stretch. This exhale, bring your palms together at the top and bring them down to heart center. Let's hold here. Take a breath or two. Your eyes can be open, they can be closed. Just some gentle movement in the beginning of our practice, getting well connected to ourselves. And go ahead and take a moment to return to your personal intention if you made one. Bring it to your mind, bring it to your heart. Let's continue with our sun salutes, taking your time. Moving with intention, no need to rush at all. Here we go. Inhale, extend your arms into the air. Another nice reach, a good stretch for the body. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, sit back into your imaginary chair. This takes a lot of strength to move slowly too. Bring your belly down to thighs, let the hands drop, your head will drop. There's that natural curve in the spine. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs, long, flat back. Now on this exhale, bend your knees enough, your back will round carefully. Bring your palms to the floor, bending enough to bring the hands to the floor so you can start stepping the feet back to the back edge of your mat until you're in plank pose. Let's hold here for a moment. This is our strength move. We'll hold here for a breath or two. When you're ready, on your exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, downward facing dog. You might need to tiptoe forward a little bit to adjust, hips nice and high. Now, if we're ever in poses like this, we're upside down or we're on our hands and you need to rest, please do so. You can always come down to your knees and take the pressure off the hands, elbows, and shoulders. Let's continue. Inhale, extend the right leg up. Doesn't have to lift high, just lift to fully extend it. Reach back. As you exhale, bend that right knee. Bring the knee in underneath you towards your chest, shifting your body weight forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. Because you're moving in slow motion, it might be difficult to set the foot down between the hands. Mine did not. Mine just came right down to the floor. If you're where I am, go ahead and bring the left knee to the floor. I'm literally going to pick up my right foot and step it up to the top of the mat near my hand. Now go ahead and relift that left knee. We're in a lunge. Now a lot of weight is forward. We need to start shifting the weight back. So pull your hips back so you can easily rise up to fingertips. Basically, we're just taking the weight off the hands. So we've lifted to we're about here. Let's activate that back leg, just pushing through the heel. You want to have a sense that your hamstring back here is lifting up towards the ceiling. Now let's bring both hands up to your right thigh. Push a little to lift a little bit more, so we formed a 45-degree angle with the upper body. We still have that good activation in that back leg. Now we want to feel the inner thigh squeeze in towards each other to activate strength and stability. Take your arms out to the side, rising up, reaching up into the air. That's warrior, this is high lunge actually. We're going to inhale, lift a little, pivot or turn that left heel to the floor. You'll turn sideways, drop your arms down to parallel. You'll be in warrior two. Good. You can make some adjustments. We're going to hold here for a few moments just to settle into this nice opening posture. Some deep breaths. Now we're going to move right into triangle pose. Now, my feet are really far apart. To get into triangle, you're basically going to start straightening the right leg. So straightening the right leg, but the feet can actually come closer together. If they're too far apart, you can step your feet much closer together if you want to, which I'm doing. Arms are still out, legs are straight. Now start reaching out over that straight right leg. Reach. You don't have to go too far, and then rotate the arms. Your right arm will come down, good. Left arm will reach up into the air. You can kind of play with how deep you want to take this. I'm up pretty high, which means my right hand is right above my right knee. This feels good. I can feel the stretch in the hamstring. Maybe you need to go a little lower. Maybe your hand is down by your shin or calf, and that's where you have proper sensation. If you need less than that, slide up the leg. Breathe deeply. That nice intention of getting some stretch and lengthening through the hamstring. A couple more breaths. Triangle pose. To come out of the posture, let's start by bending the right knee a whole lot. So we have a nice lunge, then lift the upper body so we return to warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior. Left arm will just come down behind you, while your right palm just reaches up into the air. Just a nice reach. Now you might reach straight up. You might even reach behind you, which creates a little bend or a significant bend in the torso. Or you might just kind of reach out in front, just depending on what you want to do here. And we're going to do a windmill. So the left hand from behind comes up and over. Turn your whole upper body forward, bend so you can bring your palms to the mat like this. Let's rise up onto our tiptoes behind us, return to that runner's lunge. Push firmly into the floor with your hands to feel strength in the arms so you can slide that right foot back, returning to plank pose. Another pause here for strength. You can always rest if you need to, bringing the knees to the floor. With an exhale, bend the knees a little, send your hips into the air, or return to downward facing. Adjust the feet, a little tiptoe forward, adjust your hands if you need to, and let's do the other side. Here we go. Inhale, extend the left leg into the air. Bend your left knee. You're going to bring that left knee in underneath you towards your chest while you're shifting your body weight forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. We're setting the foot down between the hands or just on the floor. My foot is way back away from that hand, so I'm going to set the right knee down, reach to pick up this left foot and place it up where I want it. Then I can relift that right knee. My weight is forward, shifting the weight back so I can easily rise to fingertips. There's no weight in the hands. I'm starting to feel that extended spine. Let's activate that back leg. We're pushing the heel back. I'm going to feel like the femur bone, the thigh bone, is lifting up towards the ceiling. Bring both hands up to your thigh, lifting yourself up to about 45 degrees. We want to feel like we're launching ourselves forward. We're staying in place because we have a good anchor of that back heel pressing downward and that hamstring activated. Now squeeze inner thighs towards each other for stability. Extend the arms out and up as we rise up to our high lunge. Hold here for a moment. We're going to inhale, lift a little so we can pivot or turn that right leg, bring that right heel to the floor, bringing the arms down to parallel. We're in our warrior two. Again, we'll hold here for a moment. Once again, returning to this nice expansiveness in the body. Let's get set up for our triangle. Let's start by extending the left leg. Now the feet can stay far apart, or if it feels better, for me it feels better for balance, I'm going to bring the feet a little closer together. Start reaching out over the left thigh. Now you might feel your right hip push back, and that's fine. And then rotate the arms, bringing the left arm down, and the right arm up into the air. Triangle pose. Take a couple of breaths. Notice if this feels just right for you, or if you need to make any adjustments. You need to rise up a little, or if you feel like you want to slide down a little. Notice the lengthening and stretch in the hamstring. Couple more breaths. When we're ready to move, we'll start with that good knee bend, that left knee bend for a lunge. We have leverage to come back up to warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior. The right hand comes down behind us, while the left arm just reaches up into the air. Just a nice extension. You might be reaching forward, kind of, straight up towards the ceiling or slightly behind you, depending on what you would like right here. Good extension. And here comes our windmill. So bring the right hand up and over, turn your torso towards the floor, carefully bend, and bring your palms back down to the mat in front. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. Push firmly into the ground with your hands, strong hands, so you can slide that left foot back, returning to plank. Hold. Now we're setting the knees onto the floor. We're just going to take a seat, basically. So you're going to sit back maybe briefly in hero. Just slide off to the side so we can bring the legs around to the front. This is where you're going to need your strap. If you have a strap or something similar, go ahead and grab that. Now I like to sit on, I need to lift my hips up a little bit, just so I don't feel like I'm going to collapse into my low back. So I'm just going to use my blanket. If you need a little extra support, just grab the props that you need to support your body. I'm going to give you some other things you can do here too. Well, now my legs are straight. Straighten them out as best as you can. If you need to put a slight bend in your knees, then do so. But do flex your feet so your legs feel active. You're really going to feel this in your in your thighs, your quadriceps up here on top. And if you have a strap, go ahead and wrap the strap around the bottom of the feet. You just want to be able to hold on to the strap where you're able to bend your elbows, get a 90-degree angle right here, just kind of relaxed. But really be able to roll the shoulders back a little bit there too, so you have good posture and you can sit up nice and tall. Let's just hold here for a moment. This is staff pose, or just a variation of staff pose. It's just an L shape, just a nice right angle in the body with activated legs, flexed feet. We're sitting up nice and tall, shoulders rolled back, and a nice core engagement. A couple of breaths here. We're going to take this into a forward fold in a moment. The strap here can be used as a tool. You can always change your grip on your mat, or on your strap if you need to. We're going to inhale and just feel a little taller. As you exhale, pull belly in, little tug of the strap, lead with your heart and chin, and hinge forward just a little bit. And just notice any shift or change in the body. I automatically felt that stretch in the hamstring, even though I didn't go very far. I could potentially just hold this. This feels perfect. Because I don't feel strained, I don't feel over pushed or forced, the body feels good, I could hold here. If that feels good for you, then maybe that's a good place to be. but you're certainly welcome to go a little further. If you need to, put a bend in your knees. You can bend them, can't see with my pants, but a good bend in the knees here. That might allow you to go a little deeper if you want to. You can even use more support, maybe a rolled up towel underneath you, or use your blanket, or even your blocks if you've got some blocks, just so the legs feel supported in a knee bend like so. And we'll just hold here. As I've mentioned in earlier classes, we're not trying to push or force or go too fast or too hard in this class. This is soft flow. And so my intention, part of the intention of this class is to dial it back. Feel like maybe you're working not at 100%, but maybe at 60%. So if you feel like you're pushing and forcing, then maybe, let me lighten that up a little bit. Even if it feels like you're not doing a lot of work, because you really are. Sometimes going slower takes a lot of effort. It certainly takes a lot of strength too in some of our transitions that we do, because we're moving slowly. It means more muscle engagement in a lot of ways too. All right, a couple more breaths in our seated forward fold. All right, we're going to go rise back up, nice and tall. And just come back to staff pose for a moment. Hold. And then go ahead and relax. All right, if you're using a strap, let's set that off to the side. Set our blocks off to the side there and moving the blanket. Now we're just going to come back to hands and knees and just swinging the legs back around. Come to hands and knees here. Feel free to do a quick set of cat and cow. Just get some undulation through the spine, some movement through the pelvis, especially after sitting in that position for a little bit. Just get some mobility back into these areas of the body. All right, we're going to have another flow. We'll take our time. Let's start in down dog. Let's step the hands forward, spread your fingers for a good base, stretching the fingers, press firmly to get a stretch in the palms. Strong arms, curl your toes, exhale, lift the knees and hips, downward facing. Little tiptoe forward, hold. Here we go. Inhale to extend your right leg up. You don't have to lift it high, just be sure it's nice and straight and strong. Exhale, bend your right knee, bring it in underneath you, shift your body weight forward. Setting the foot down between the hands or just down onto the floor. If you need to, set the left knee down, pick up the right foot, place it up where you want to near the fingers, relift that back knee. Shift the weight back so you can easily rise to fingertips, hold for a second in this runner's lunge. Bring hands to thigh, press to lift to 45 degrees. Let's activate our legs. Pushing back through the heel, thigh bone feels like it's lifting up, squeeze to inner thighs. Now extend your arms out to the side, rise up, reach up into the air. Big stretch there in our high lunge. Inhale, and our exhale, let's reopen to our warrior two. Hold, just to settle in. We're gonna get set for our triangle again. So straighten the right leg if you need to, shorten the distance between the feet if you'd like. And yes, and then extend the right arm out over the right leg and rotate. That's it, right hand down, left hand into the air. Again, feeling that nice stretch through the whole back side of your right leg. Couple breaths. We're gonna add on some new things here. First, we'll bend the right knee, another lunge, so we can come back up to a warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior, so your right hand reaching up into the air. Some nice extension. Keep where you stay where you are, but you're gonna re-extend the right leg. Just straighten the right leg again. Keep reaching up into the air. That'll help you to extend that right leg. You'll get a new sensation perhaps down through the right side of your body. Keep the legs straight, but come back up to neutral with your upper body arms extended. So it's like you're set up for triangle again. Now, you're gonna pivot your right foot so your toes are facing the same direction as your left foot. So you're going to be in a star shape just like that. Yes. I'm going to turn sideways too, this way. All right, just going to inhale and reach out. As you exhale, pull your belly in a little, bend your knees quite a bit, and then slowly start to fold. You're just going to fold, let your hands come down either to the ground, or if your blocks are nearby, just bring those blocks in, and maybe the blocks are now your ground. Keep a softness in the knees. Here you'll inhale, rise up to fingertips on your mat or your blocks to extend the spine, feel like you're going forward, and exhale, we'll fold again. We're going to hold here for a bit. And as you're settling into this position, make some adjustments if you need to. If you want to take the feet out a little wider, please do so. If you feel like the feet are too far apart, bring them closer together. Keep your knees bent so you don't lock out the knee joints. Breathing deeply, noticing the sensation in the backs of the legs. You might even lean forward a little bit towards your toes. That might even allow you to feel like your tailbone or your hips are lifting up towards the ceiling, even keeping a bend in the knees, just changing the sensation in the backs of the legs. We've also added some stretch and lengthening in the inner legs because of the wide stance. Because I have stacked blocks here and I'm low enough where I can actually just set my head on my blocks and just kind of lean into it. Again, not overdoing it. If this feels like it's too low or too forced, certainly back it up a little bit. Take 2 more breaths in this wide-legged forward fold. And we're going to inhale and rise back up to fingertips, re-extending the spine. Hold there. Now lean back into your heels. Bend your knees, let the hips drop, feel like you're sitting down. We've done this before. Lifting your head so it's nice and long. And if you're able, lift the hands, extend the arms out to the side. We're here, so you're going to feel this in your legs. Rise up until you're nice and tall, returning to that star shape. So you return to this position. Turn the right foot forward, lunging into Warrior 2. Let's take side angle. Just reach out over the right leg, that's it. And bring the right hand down, left hand up. And maybe even extending this left arm overhead a little bit for a left side body stretch. Good. Let's breathe in. And our exhale will turn towards the floor. Carefully bend to bring the hands to the mat. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. Press firmly into the floor with the hands, strong arms. So you can slide that right foot back into plank. Hold for strength. Let's return to down dog. Just bend your knees, hips into the air. Let's do that whole same sequence on the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up, not high, just long and straight. Exhale, bend this left knee, bring it in underneath you towards chest, shifting body weight forward, setting foot down. Again, bringing right knee to the floor if you need to, picking up the left foot, placing it where you want, relifting right knee. Shifting weight back, you're finding balance really. Easily able to rise to fingertips, feel the extended spine. Activate that back leg. Hands come up to thigh, coming up to 45-degree angle. Let's really activate. Right heel pushing back, thigh bone lifting towards ceiling, squeeze to inner thighs. Extend arms out to the side, rising up, reach up. Here's our nice lunge, high lunge. We're going to inhale, lift a little so you can pivot. Right heel to the floor, opening body to Warrior 2. Arms come to parallel, hold. Prepare for triangle, straighten the left leg. Shorten the distance between the feet if you need to. Reach out over left thigh, tip it over, left hand down, right hand up. Maybe breathing 3 to 5 times. That's what I've been counting here. Good stretch, good lengthening, hopefully some good release. Whenever you're ready, we'll bend that left knee for leverage so we can come back up to warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior, left hand up into the air, nice extension, take it to where you'd like. You're gonna re-extend the left leg, straight as can be. That left arm reaching into the air should help you lengthen that leg. Feel that extra stretch or perhaps a new sensation through the left side body. Now come back up to neutral. So like you're in that, I call it triangle prep. Here, turn your left foot forward so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. This is our star shape, yes. Inhale, reach out through the arms, feel tall in your spine. As you exhale, pull belly in, put a bend in the knees, then fold. Putting a bend in the knees will protect your back as you fold. Come down to fingertips on the mat or bring your blocks back in if you're using them. Hold for a second. Then we'll inhale to re-extend spine, rise up to fingertips. Help lengthen right here. Exhale, refold. Settle into the pose. Now this is the second time your body has been here. And so it may have some familiarity to it already. So you can play with it. Maybe you want to take the feet a little wider than the first time. Maybe you want to add some things to this if you want. Maybe walk your hands over to one foot, get a little stretch this way, kind of adds a little twist or a lengthening through the sides of your body. Lots of things you can do here. Here's another one I'll just throw out. You don't have to do this. I'm just adding some ideas. I'm just using my blocks. I have my left hand on my block to extend spine and my right arm out to the side and up into the air, creating a rotation. So you can do something like that. And I do that. I do that on my legs too. Especially the leg I'm facing away from. So add some things. Kind of play with this position while we're here for the moment. You can just stay in the forward fold and just experience the hamstring stretch, the inner thigh release. Holding posture, especially when we're thinking about stretching. We want to be able to hold the pose for a significant amount of time so actually something happens, so the body again can respond to the work that we're doing in a positive way. And then be able to hold on to that new positive feeling. Let's take 3 more breaths wherever you are. So if you're still in motion or adding some extra poses, just gradually make your way back to this deep forward fold. When you're back to center, you're going to rise back up to fingertips, re-extending spine. Hold there as you're able to lengthen back. Lean way back into the heels. Bend your knees like you're going to sit down. Then if you can, lift your arms out to the side. You're balanced here. You're really using leg work. Rising back up until you're in your star shape again. Let's turn the left foot forward, lunging into warrior two. Let's take side angle, reaching out over that left thigh, rotate the arms. You can start by reaching straight up with the right arm, or even reach over your head a little bit to extend and lengthen through the right side of your body. A couple of breaths here. Then inhale, and our exhale to carefully turn. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift that back heel, runner's lunge. Firm press into the floor with the hands. Slide the left foot back. Plank pose. Hold. And let's bring knees to the ground. Let's take a seat. Let's maybe sitting back into hero briefly, sitting off to the side. So you can bring the legs around to the front. So that was our main practice. Now we'll come to our closing sequence. You'll notice if you take these classes with me pretty regularly, the opening segment is pretty much always the same. My closing segment is always the same. And then we find, some theme that we're working on in the middle. So that was our hamstring conditioning today. So we're gonna lie down. So have your props nearby if you need props. Maybe a blanket for your head if you want to lie down on something soft. Maybe a block or two nearby. Keep those handy. And then we're going to lie down. We're going to bridge pose. You're going to lie down with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Let everything settle here for a moment. Maybe a few deep breaths so you can just feel yourself ground. Just feel this great connection to the ground. Very nice sigh. All right, let's get ready to reactivate the body. You're just going to inhale, bring breath into the lungs. Exhale to activate the belly. Press feet into the floor, lifting your hips up into the air. Now this can be a supported bridge pose, meaning you don't have to lift very high at all, or even supported with a block or a bolster or rolled up blanket, whatever you've got to sit underneath you, okay? And literally just sit on the block. And it just holds you steady in this nice mild back bend condition. A nice opening through the chest, your belly, the whole front side, even your hip flexors and thighs. You don't have to do a whole lot of work here at all. Some of you know I like to give yoga homework. Yoga homework. And those are it's basically just something simple you can do anytime during the week between classes. This is a great homework assignment right here, just a supported bridge pose. If you're sitting a whole lot, I'm sitting at my desk a lot these days. And so just doing a counter pose like this, bridge pose, just sitting on a block, lying down, I can be fully relaxed, but the whole front side of the body opens. So if you think about it, maybe consider this as your yoga homework sometime during the week. Two more breaths. I like to do a leg extension here too. Now you've got some options. I'm on blocks. I'm going to stay on my blocks. If you happen to be seated on blocks, stay there. And what you'll do is extend both legs into the air. Now if you're just lying on them, if you're in bridge, you can come all the way down to the floor, lie flat, and then extend your legs up into the air. Either one is correct. Just some nice leg extension. And again, this doesn't have to be too forceful at all because the body has to kind of work automatically, meaning your core has to engage to lift your legs up into the air. The legs have to activate. And even just holding for a couple more seconds in this static position, but then feel free to move. There you go. Maybe some bicycle pedaling, just some free flow movement of the legs. There you go. Move your feet around. If you were flexing your feet or something, let the feet kind of go loose. Yeah, move your legs, out to the side, back to center, bicycle pedals, anything that feels good. Just get creative and just see what kind of movements you can create with the legs in the air. If you're doing a little water ballet, you can just get very creative. Just some nice movement here, feels good. Couple more breaths. Whenever you're ready, just going to bring your feet back down to the floor. If you're on blocks, just lift your hips so you can move your blocks down to the ground. Let's just do a quick extension of the entire body. Extend the legs out front. Reach your arms behind you. Reach in these opposite directions. Exhale to relax. Then bring both knees to chest. Just catch them in your hands and just give yourself a gentle hug. Even some movement here. Maybe just some circles or rocking left and right, side to side, back and forth. Let's do reclining cobbler's pose. Go ahead and set the feet back down onto the floor, knees bent. Bring the feet together so the soles of your feet touch, and let the knees just open out to opposite sides of the room. Like you're opening a book, that's it. And again, the soles of the feet will probably touch, knees bent as they open out to opposite sides. And just feel that nice inner thigh stretch and release, that low back release perhaps. Hold here. And since we're coming to the close of our practice or getting close to the end, here's a nice opportunity to return to your personal intention. Maybe this practice was a vehicle to help you move towards that intention, whatever it may have been. There's no rush to move. You can stay here a little longer, but the next move is a spinal twist. Whenever you're ready, you're just going to bring the knees back together. Give your knees another hug towards chest, and then send knees over to the left side of the room. And maybe extend your right arm to the right side of the room. This will create that natural twist in the spine. Once again, not a rush to move. If you need more time on this side, stay here, or whenever you're ready to move, just slowly return to center. Pause there in center for a few seconds, and then take knees to the other side, spinal twist, going at your own pace. Whenever you feel complete, come back to center, no rush, and then move into Shavasana. And this can be any form of Shavasana that you like. You can do it classically just by lying flat on your back. Or if you want more support, bring in your props. If you've got a rolled up blanket for underneath your knees or a bolster, you can elevate your legs or elevate your upper body. So just something that's comfortable and very restorative. Sometimes lying flat on your back on the ground isn't comfortable. So you want to find ways that makes it more comfortable for you. That might even mean lying on your side. So you can certainly lie on your side if you want to. Your Shavasana could even be a seated position. I'm just going to rise up to seated. You just stay where you are. Just again, find that comfortable place so you can rest for the next few minutes. Stay exactly where you are. No need to move. Just return to the awareness of your breath. Continue to be aware of your breathing, just slow, steady breaths in and out. And as you're returning to this awareness, feel the breath move through your body and starting to generate movement in your body. Just very subtle, easy movements. Take 3 more breaths. Each breath bringing more movement into your body. Until you're able to slowly and very carefully roll onto either side of your body. No rush, take your time. If you can, move in slow motion. Just rolling onto your side. Hold there for another breath or 2. Continue to move in slow motion. Gently guide your way up. Use your body, use your hands, use your breath to rise up and come to seated. Finding that comfortable seat. Find and feel stillness in your body. Your arms and hands can just rest in your lap or on your legs, or you can bring hands to heart center. Take another full breath in and out. When you exhale, just feel the steadiness, the ease of yourself. Calm. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow together saying, Namaste.